Hey guys, it's me, Danny. I'm so excited to post a new video. Just want to wish you guys a happy holidays and some more updates. So Saturn return for Sagittarius people is officially over. Woo! I'm so relieved. My Saturn return is finally over, and it actually Saturn moved into Capricorn. On December 19th. So that was just a couple days before Christmas last week, and I was still feeling kind of the heaviness in the last big purge, but it took until the sun left Sagittarius and went into Capricorn a few days later for me to really kind of start to feel that relief. But now it's kind of this time of interpreting and kind of allowing all of the lessons to kind of settle, and I'm just really happy that it's over. So I know a lot of you guys had a really hard time with your Sagittarius returns, and we did it! So now it's time to kind of take everything you learned and put it into practice, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are already feeling all these new impulses and this fresh energy. So it's very exciting. And but some of you are also starting your Saturn return. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the dates for Saturn and Capricorn returns, and these are people who are currently aged anywhere from 25, 26 to 27, 28 or so could potentially be starting their Saturn return at this time. And you can look this up by checking your chart and seeing what sign Saturn is. So if you were born with Saturn in Capricorn, then your Saturn return began December 19th. And they're going to be 3 retrograde cycles during the Saturn return. So what happens is, Saturn is this planet of hurry up and wait. And the Saturn represents obstacles, and it really it forces us to grow up and mature in certain areas of our life. So you can look in the chart and see where Saturn is in your chart and what area of your life is going to kind of see this kind of transformation and maturation. So what happens is you collect some experiences that might be difficult, and then during the retrograde periods you sort of assimilate some of that information, and you kind of get a little intense and kind of reprocess. One other thing to add is that since Saturn is at home in Capricorn, it really loves Capricorn, then Saturn in Capricorn experiences might not be as intense as Saturn in Sagittarius was. So Saturn Sag people have to learn a lot about, it's like they always are worried about their freedom and their freedom being limited, and that's a huge signature with Saturn and Sag. They're forced to take on responsibilities that they really don't want to take. They're forced to grow up in ways that they just want to remain a child. So Saturn and Capricorn people have already learned a lot about control and self-control and what's appropriate, all those kinds of things. So this might be a little bit easier but in any case, Saturn is a time when you learn things. So the first retrograde period is April 17th to September 6th. 2018. So there's a little bit of this pattern. It's about April, May to September of the next 3 years, 2018, 2019, and 2020, where there's retrograde cycles. So that is so you'll spend December through April kind of having some experiences come up for you, and then you'll spend April to September processing. And then from October again through April, some new experiences. And that's going to be the pattern for a little while. There's a little bit of an interesting thing going on here. There's what I call sort of a false ending. So Saturn actually dips into Aquarius on March 22nd, 2020. And there's going to be kind of this lifting of that tension that you're going to be feeling for this period of time. And it might feel oh wow, I'm over, I'm done with this. But the retrograde comes in May 10th, 2020, and then it'll return back to Capricorn in July, and then from July to December 2020, you'll be finishing out that last bit of your return for your true ending on December 17th of 2020. So it's a little bit of a timeline. I'm going to put all those dates in the notes below, and those of us who got through our Sagittarius return, Saturn Sagittarius return together, and it was really tricky, but we did it. Now it's time for the Saturn and Capricorn returns to start, and I just want to create this forum for any of you who are starting your Saturn returns to talk with each other and support each other. It can be a hard time, but at the end of the day, you know, I wouldn't trade any of the last 3 years for anything. I really feel like I'm becoming who I'm really meant to be. And overall, it's a good experience. It's a lot. So I hope this helps. Again, happy holidays. Congrats to those of you who've finished your Saturn return, and also congrats for those of you who are beginning your Saturn Capricorn return, because it's a fun, you know, at the end of the day, it's a beautiful process. And I wish you all the best. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.